So what was the title of the talk today, just to get me going? The title of the talk is What does waking up mean in relation to non-duality? So in one way, like, so there's lots of different ways that you could answer that. Like, in one way, you could say that there is no waking up, because who would wake up? Like, what does waking up mean to you right here, right now? Like, all concepts disappear here. So waking up is an idea which we communicate about, and that has importance and relevance in order to be able to speak about it. But right here, right now, which is what non-duality is pointing to and talking about, who wakes up? And what wakes up in this moment? And this moment is all that you ever have. You never have your past of someone that hasn't woken up, and you never have a future of someone that's going to wake up. You only ever have what's happening now. And that's where the beauty lies. That's what's ignored in our current society. People aren't so interested in what is. People are more interested in what's not, in something in past, in something in what has been. So this is all that's relevant in waking up. And in this moment, waking up and you and the world disappears. There is nothing but what's happening. So what does waking up mean in the timeline when we discuss the personality structure and what seems to happen in time? To me, so the way I speak about it is going to be so different to every teacher that speaks about non-duality. We get in our mind that it's all going to mean the same, but when you really explore the nature of words and the nature of meaning, you realize that it's impossible to know what other people are talking about. Somebody's version of waking up, or someone's version of love, or someone's version of expansion or freedom is always going to be totally different from other people's versions of it. So my version of waking up, which might differ also from your version. You don't have to believe me if this is your experience, but you can begin to question that in the end. So my experience of non-duality is that there are many intellectual realizations that happen along the way, but my interpretation is that it's an energetic expansion. And that energetic expansion affects the personality structure, but it doesn't fix the personality structure, and it doesn't change necessarily the personality structure. It has an effect, and it doesn't make the person like super nice or super giving or not grumpy. The person can be lots of different ways dependent on its conditioning. But for me, it affected it and it relaxed it and made it more like see-through, like a ghost, the personality structure. But the Lisa character still has issues, still has dynamics, still can be a pain in the ass, can get grumpy, can get snappy, can say mean things, can be passive aggressive, can be manipulative, all the things that every human is. She's really not above or below anybody. Maybe to you she is, but from here it's just the way she is. But there is this energetic expansion where that character, like it's like an energy thing. So prior to it, even though I'd had many realizations and many like mini awakenings, it kind of felt like consciousness, like what was looking, and the I am was inside the body looking out, and it had experiences, these shifts prior to it. But when this big shift happened, it sort of stopped, like Lisa stopped being the center, and then the center was everything, or there was no center and there was simply everything. And then Lisa carried on appearing in that, and she is embodying that, like that realization, that shift is being more and more embodied through time and understood. But that's my experience of it. And yeah, and I found over the years, like it can be spoken about in so many different ways. Like for example, you could say there is no me, but then at the same time, there is seemingly a me. And that's a confusing part to get your head around. And there is no others, but there's seemingly others. There is no choice, but there's seemingly choice. There is no doer, but there seems to be a doer. And then integrating that and understanding that is life, if all of our life's work. Yeah. And this consciousness and I am is absolutely empty. It's totally empty, and it's full simultaneously. Like it's full of everything. It's empty and it's full. It has and is nothing, and yet it is everything. Non-duality to me isn't about making the world better or the person better, although this can be a side effect, but it's really not about getting to some sort of peaceful utopia. Or peaceful person. However, this can be an effect of that. And it manifests and looks so different in everybody. Everybody's path is different. But then if we come back to what I was saying in the beginning, there is no path and there is no body in which all of that happens to. There is simply this, and in this there is nothing and everything. But who is this person? so contradictory. What happens in the person is when you feel disconnected from the self, so when you feel disconnected from who you are, so when you haven't had this awakening or you don't have a sense of this energetically, like, so if your energy is closed or shut, then what it does in the person, like closed, I mean like contracted, is it creates seeking. So the person feels uncomfortable and then it tries to find the solution and find the answer to that in time. So you try to find it in not being angry with someone, in sorting out your dynamics or sorting out your chakras or your feelings, which is all valid. There's nothing wrong with that. Or getting more money or sorting out your stress levels. And all of that has purpose and has reason. But it's never going to get you to what you're truly looking for, which is home. What you're truly looking for is the deep connection to who you are and what you are, which is here right now, which is no one and nothing. This is all you've ever wanted. It is all you ever wanted is this, which sounds crazy because this is nothing. This is not something you can grab. You can't grab hold of this moment. We try to capture it with photos, like hold on to this moment, but you can't. It's gone, 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 here, here, here. So this moment is nothing, and yet it's everything that's appearing. And that's all you've ever wanted. And there's something that knows that. So often when it listens to non-duality, there's a resonance with that.